Cloudcast Media. Drew Schlosberg Spotlight on the Community Show, amplifying the voices of social impact organizations, entrepreneurs, local nonprofits, and other community champions who shape the culture, creativity, and connectivity of San Diego. Brought to you by Mission Fed Credit Union, bringing good things to San Diego for over 60 years. Learn more about what is good for you and good for all by visiting www.missionfed.com.
I'm Drew Schlosberg of Cloudcast Media, and it's always good to have our friend in, this time friend in from Susan G. Komen, San Diego, and that's Leah Bruin. She is the executive director. And yes, if it is October the 13th, like it is today, that means just right around the corner is one of their many big events, but probably the biggest event they have coming up. Leah, how you doing?
Hi, I'm doing great. Thanks for having me.
Getting any sleep?
A little, not as much as I'd like.
No, not as much as you'd like on this. All good. Before we talk about Metastatic Breast Cancer Day, which is today, Friday the 13th, talk about the More Than Pink Walk that's coming up on the 2nd.
Absolutely. So we host our More Than Pink Walk
5th, I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah. On November 5th, Sunday, November 5th in Balboa Park. It's our biggest event of the year where we have all of our community come out, show force with a big pink wave through the park for our walk, showing support for those that are currently diagnosed and celebrating those that are survivors.
Right. So that'll take place what time in the morning?
Starts at 6:30.
So what starts at 6:30? The registration? Are people actually walking at 6:30?
No. So we the event site opens at 6:30. We'll do a really fun, engaging opening ceremony at 7:30, and then the walk kicks off at 8 a.m.
So at 8. And then is it a certain length of walk? I know they used to break it down into 1 kilometer and then 5 kilometers, or is it just one fell swoop now, one big race?
It's one route, but there is an area where you can turn around if you want a shorter option. So
Yes.
it's 2.5 miles, and we do have a 1 mile option.
So it's 2.5 miles. Okay, very good. Right now it's starting at what's about 6th and Laurel or something like that?
Yeah, right at 6th and Laurel, we'll have the event site, and then the route goes inside Balboa Park and then comes back to the event site.
Now, do people have to register for the event, or they just show up?
Well, we prefer everyone to register,
Okay.
but you can register on site on the day of. So definitely, if you are not sure about your plans, just come on down.
And is it a free event?
Yeah, absolutely. It's free to attend, and we just encourage everyone to fundraise.
Right, exactly. So either them getting somebody to commit for every foot they walk, they give X amount of money, or if they want to get a shirt, donate some money on that. How much money do you raise from that event?
So we're looking, our goal here is $575,000 this year.
Oh, not what'd you raise last year?
A little less than that, about 540.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
All right, very good. How much support do you get from the corporate office, the national office?
Oh, it's complete support. So, we're all one organization. So it's just really great to have the support of our mission, our operations team, our marketing team. So, it's all just together. We're going to make our goal.
Now, will they come out and be part of this as well? I know they're heavily involved also in the 3-day walk, correct?
Yeah, absolutely. So we have staff here that live in San Diego that are in other departments, our mission department, our corporate partnerships department. So they're going to be helping. So it's an all hands on deck.
Right,
Yeah.
right, exactly. Are you still looking for sponsors?
We're still open for some sponsor options. We're kind of hitting those deadlines next week. So anybody that wants to come in, right now is the time.
Right. So if you're expecting how many folks?
About 8,000.
Okay, but 8,000 will be again on Sunday, November the 5th in Balboa Park. It's right at Laurel and 6th. That makes a nice loop right there. There's music, there's a lot of crafts, there's a lot of exhibits, and it's just a whole bunch of fun, correct?
Oh, it really is. Like, we try to infuse fun into the fundraising aspect of this event. So we like our crowd just to engage with us and participate. So there'll be dancing, there'll be a mascot dance-off. All of our partners that come out and have booths have a lot of fun activations and games for all the participants to engage with as well.
Right. I know you guys have friendly competitions on how teams can raise some money. We had Marilee Neal on with you last time, a longtime supporter of Susan G. Komen. She tells her own story about breast cancer as one. I think she's won the team competition recently, or am I wrong on that?
She has been the top team, the highest fundraising team for many years in a row now. So we do have a couple of new teams or returning teams this year that are vying for her spot and think that they're going to get there. So I know that Lillian Van Velde Gray is she's coveting that spot as well. So I think it'll be really fun to see who like leads us on event day.
Right, tries to dethrone the queen, so to speak, of Marilee in this aspect. But it's all good, and it's all for this great cause. And I think we talked about this last time, or pretty much any time you're on the show. And most people don't really realize this. You guys contribute more money for breast cancer research than any organization, correct?
That's right. We have invested $1.1 billion in the last 40 years for research and advancing treatments.
Right, exactly. And we all know that research is so critical. It sounds so obvious. It's not inexpensive research. We all know that. But we don't know if you solve some of the issues around breast cancer, does that also solve issues around lung cancer or something else? Because we just don't know until we get into that. And you work very, very closely with a lot of the biotech organizations and the UCSD Health and everybody else that's involved in that, do you not?
Yeah, we try to have really robust relationships with as many partners as we can here in the community, just to keep up to date on what their, initiatives are, what they're working on. And as you mentioned, it's not a cheap disease to treat. Breast cancer is the most expensive cancer to treat. And so that's why we are out here doing our fight, raising the money to help support those that are currently going through treatment. Yeah,
without question. We're chatting with Leah Brun. She's the executive director of Susan G. Komen San Diego. I'm Drew Schlosberg. You're listening to another edition of Drew Schlosberg Spotlight on the Community Show, the nation's longest running community podcast. We're now in our 17th year, brought to you by Mission Fed Credit Union and these very nice Mission Fed studios here in Scripps Ranch. And Mission Fed's been doing just very, very good stuff for everybody for more than 60 years in our region. We talked about this last time. I think there's not necessarily a white paper, but a paper you folks did on talking about the expense of this disease. And listen, there's a lot of people that don't get treated maybe because of that expense and all that. Talk about that aspect.
Right. So we've had over a couple of years some data that we were able to look at that showed, just like what you explained, that the expense it's the financial toxicity of going through treatment.
Right.
And that is just, it puts a strain on a family. It puts a strain on anyone that is the primary caretaker. And so Komen tries to step in and help by providing financial assistance and then reducing any barriers to care, things that could, like getting to your appointments and not being able to navigate the healthcare system. We want to make sure to reduce those so you can get your treatment quickly and lessen that burden.
So do you do that? Is there a fund that goes to you folks that if somebody needs some help, they're getting to a treatment, maybe there's transportation costs or there's the cost of the treatment? How does that work? So
what it is our financial assistance program is just a direct grant that we give. It's a direct deposit. So anyone in treatment has the ability to qualify for that once per year. And then they can use the funds for whatever they need. So if it's for Ubers to get to their treatments, or if it's for childcare or to pay for groceries or rent, whatever they need it for. Now, is it a certainly set amount you get? Each person gets the same amount, or it really depends on the person's situation? So we have separated out by people that are currently diagnosed, and they get $500 if you're stage 1 through 3. Okay. Anyone that has metastatic breast cancer can receive $750 per year. Right, exactly. And how many folks do you give those grants to approximately? So here in Southern California, it's about 350 that we did last year. Okay, right. And that is all based on money you are raising from things such as the walk or some other events you do, or just people making donations? It's all the above. So, all of our mission programs are fueled by our fundraising. So if you donate online, if you come to one of our events, if you sponsor any of our events, that goes to towards the pot that then gets distributed to these folks that need it.
All right, we're chatting again with Leah Bruin, Executive Director of Susan G. Komen San Diego. I'm Drew Schlosberg. You're listening to another edition of Drew Schlosberg Spotlight on the Community Show, brought to you by Mission Fed Credit Union. We come back from break. I want to talk more about the event, the big 5K More Than a Pink Walk. It'll be November the 5th. It's a Sunday in Balboa Park. I want to talk about the National Metastatic Breast Cancer Day, which is today, what that means and so forth, and maybe other events that you have that are around the corner coming up in 2024 when we return with Leah Bruin, Executive Director of Susan G. Komen. We will be right back.
When you do your banking with Mission Fed, you get great rates on auto and home loans. That's good for you, but something good also happens for a lot of other people. We're not for profit, so we put money back into the community to help lots of great nonprofits to keep San Diego strong. So you're not just getting something good, you're doing something good. Come to Mission Fed. It's banking that's good for all.
Brand amplification is the DNA of Cloudcast Media, and our code is the powerful blending of sound, voice, and storytelling to lift local brands and their communities. Whether it is our Brandcast, Schoolcast, or Causecast platforms, the unifying ethos is all about this community, the one you call home. If you dare to dream and want to explore the brand amplification of Cloudcast, a national leader in local podcasting and other Winfluence strategies, please visit us at cloudcast.us.
I'm Drew Schlosberg, and you're listening to another edition of Drew Schlosberg Spotlight on the Community Show, the nation's longest-running community podcast. We're now in our 17th year, brought to you by Mission Fed Credit Union. We've been doing phenomenal things in San Diego for more than 60 years, joined by Leah Bruin. She's the Executive Director of Susan G. Komen San Diego, talking about their More Than Pink Walk. That'll be held on Sunday, November the 5th in Balboa Park. Expecting, 8,000 walkers, runners, crawlers, scotchers, and all that business?
Absolutely. 8,000 people and probably about 500 more dogs, I'm hoping.
That's right.
Yeah.
And that's one of the cool things about this. You can bring your dog. Make sure your dog is friendly to other doggies and to people, and on a leash, of course, on that. But it's pretty cool. And I'm assuming you've already ordered up just beautiful San Diego weather that day. Is that correct?
I did. I put in an order quite a bit ago.
You did? Okay. No one's going to sit there and get in the way of that. Talk about the Metastatic Breast Cancer Day, what that's all about. And it is today.
Yeah, so October 13th is National Metastatic Breast Cancer Awareness Day, and that's, just like Breast Cancer Awareness Month, it's a day to take time to be more aware of the statistics, of the risks that are involved, and then possibly getting involved to do whatever you can to make a difference. For us, anything that we do to help our metastatic breast cancer patients and honoring those, that are currently in treatment and memorializing anyone that has passed. But we also host a metastatic breast cancer conference every year, and we'll be doing that in March of 2024 here in San Diego, just bringing together industry experts and professionals that can then talk to the community about any advancements in treatment or any new breakthroughs that are happening, as well as ways to improve the quality of life of those that are currently diagnosed.
Yeah. So Leah, is breast cancer, people getting it, having it, and all that business, is it growing? I do know mortality rates, thanks to the unbelievable work of Susan G. Komen, have dipped precipitously, 42% since the organization was founded. That is a huge shout out to folks like you and everybody else around the country doing it. But how about just the incidence of getting breast cancer? Growing, stabilizing, going down?
To my knowledge, it's about the same. So,
okay.
Every 2 minutes, someone in the U.S. is diagnosed with breast cancer. And then, we have the 1 in 8. So, 1 in 8 women in their lifetime will be diagnosed with breast cancer in the U.S. So those statistics stay the same year over year, and that is something that we continue to fight for to try to reduce those.
Right, exactly. Is that the same ratio like in other developed countries? Would that be the same in Canada, in England, in France, so to speak? Hard to say. Yeah. It'd be interesting to find out. Is it our environment that is causing it? Is what we eat, what we ingest, and we know some of it is hereditary, of course, in that area. But it'd be interesting to know on this. And listen, you and Marilee chatted about this last time you were on the show. It is almost impossible to find somebody that does not know of somebody that has had breast cancer, not had breast cancer. I mean, it's impossible. I don't know of anybody, either themselves personally or a family member or a relative or whatever the case may be. It is that prevalent, is it not?
It is. I know that just because of my work, I am, I am coming across it much more than most, but I probably on a daily basis, people I talk to, even just in regular conversations.
Right. Yeah. Is it getting, and maybe it'll be next time you're on the show, if you would want to come on and stomach one more show with us and all that business, but maybe bring on a researcher, one of the folks that you work with, in breast cancer research, and talk about some of the stats and what the trends they're seeing. Is it more younger people that are getting it? I think, obviously, and we might have mentioned this before, that one of the things that happens when people are more aware of things and they're getting tested more, you're going to see higher numbers, correct?
Right. When you raise awareness and you have people that are paying attention to their bodies and knowing their own risk, then you might find it earlier. And then the earlier you find it, you're having a better chance of survival and lower cost treatments. Right. But it also means you might have another reoccurrence later in your life. Right,
exactly. But better to know that, at whatever young age than it is, down the road and then it's too late and there's not a lot of stuff you can do for it. Talk just about the importance of getting a breast exam.
So it's really important to, try to keep track of your own body, to know your own body. And if you feel anything that changes, and it's not necessarily just a lump, there can be other changes in your body, not even on your breast, that could just indicate that there's something wrong. So that's the number one. Number two is just knowing your risks. There could be family history, genetics, environment, as you mentioned, stress, diet, all of these have a role in the risk factors. So that's just another. And then, as you know your risk, you develop a plan with your own doctor about when you need to start getting mammograms or any other type of, treatments or diagnostics.
I think, I'm not sure if we talked about this last time or not, probably somewhere down the road we have, but one of the things that Susan G. Komen does, it's a great support system for people that they now have a family member that just got identified with it. And there's a whole support groups out there, and we all know, half of this is, God, am I the only one that's in this? No, there's a lot of people, unfortunately, that have been through this. But here's a way how you can get out of it. Talk about how that works with different support groups.
Yeah, so number one, we have our helpline. You can call that and find out as much information about your area. We have resources there that all of our call centers have. So we'll know about Southern California, about your particular area in San Diego. And then also, since the pandemic, one great thing is that you don't have to go in person to do a support group. There are many different types, and they have evolved over the years. So it's not just sitting in a room, in a circle with chairs. It's out doing things that are active. It's finding things that you're interested in. And then also virtually, you can do that through Zoom or connecting through Facebook groups, any online forums. There's a lot of resources for people that are currently going through that. And then providing the support as, like telling you what to ask for your next doctor appointment, knowing what to ask and what to say and what not to say as someone that's a friend or a family member of a recently diagnosed person. So there's a lot of resources that we like to provide whenever that's, it's a scary time.
Yeah, well, absolutely. And I bet when you talk to anybody who's first getting those words, just when they hear the C word anyway, whether it's breast cancer, lung cancer, and, pick a cancer, for God's sake, it's got to be like a shot across the bow, right between the eyes on this. But knowing that there are organizations like Susan Komen that have been doing this for a while, been very successful doing this for a while, that have so many people that are with you shoulder to shoulder. One of the things I loved when I was on the board for 6 years was how engaged the board was. I do say so myself, but B, how everyone there. And the ones who would come in and talk to us, and the people who had had breast cancer have been involved with Komen, they are so willing to reach out to folks, and say, I've been through this. Let me help you walk through it. If you don't want the help, that's fine, no problem. But I can help you with this. Talk about how important that is.
It is. It's one of those things that provides hope. And it is like a shoulder to cry on, and just to know that there's people that have gotten through it.
Right.
That is one thing. And our supporters, the people that are year over year just coming back, are the ones that are the most willing to step up and say, let me call that person. Let me take them to coffee. Let me tell them I can drive them to the next appointment. It's one of the best things. And that's something that you do find whenever you come to our events. You've run into these folks that are just so dedicated to supporting this and to being that person that can be turned to for support.
And when you think about what you just described there, that means so much to the person that has it. And maybe they don't have family members here, for whatever reason they're out of. So it's them. Now you got somebody who's been through it that'll take them to an event, know they can talk to them through it, wait till they have their exam or whatever the case may be. And that human interaction, you can talk all you want about Zooms, and Zooms play a very important role when you can't be face-to-face. We all know that. But it's that human interaction, that human touch, that human empathy. So important, especially with something that's so personal like breast cancer, correct?
Absolutely. I think it is something that was for many years not spoken about,
right,
and kept hidden, which is a reason why the mortality rates were so high. But now that you know that you have someone that you can talk to, and they, that lived experience, and to just be able to have that connection.
Yeah, it's so critical on it. So anything else you'd like to add before we go ahead and shout out again the big race that's on, or race or walk, I should say. I guess people can run if they want in this on the 5th of November. Any other final comments? Yeah,
just we're halfway to our goal, and we just are really excited about the fun day that we're going to have for all of our participants, and just want to show everyone that comes a really good time.
Exactly. That's going to be Sunday, November the 5th. Register. That helps them out as you can. Certainly, if you want to make a donation, you can donate online before you come down to the walk. You can donate at the walk, get a T-shirt. So you get great exhibits, and have a lot of fun on that. And what's the website to get a hold of you?
It's komen.org/San Diego Walk.
Good. And Leo, we talked about this before. It didn't work out in this interview. Would love to have somebody, after the walk, or maybe after the first of the year, that participated in the walk. That was good. That it was a survivor, and they could talk about how much being with Komen means to them. Let's make sure we make that happen. How's that sound?
Let's do it.
Okay, very good. Leah Brun, always good to see you. Executive Director of Susan G. Komen San Diego. I'm Drew Schlosberg. You've been listening to another edition of Drew Schlosberg Spotlight on the Community Show. It's the nation's longest running community podcast, now in our 17th year. Brought to you by Mission Fed Credit Union. Mission Fed doing great things for San Diegans for more than 60 years. We hope you enjoyed the show.
You've been listening to an episode of Drew Schlosberg's Spotlight on the Community Show, amplifying the voices of social impact organizations, entrepreneurs, local nonprofits, and other community champions who shape the culture, creativity, and connectivity of San Diego community. Brought to you by Mission Fed Credit Union, bringing good things to San Diego for over 60 years. Learn more about what is good for you and good for all by visiting www.missionfed.com.
Cloudcast Media.